write the number 108 as a product of primes. So we're going to set this up as a prime tree. So we're going to start with 108, and we're going to start breaking 108 down into its factors. Now 108 for me is off of my mental multiplication chart. I can't just automatically think of two numbers that will multiply right away to give me 108. So what I want to do is I want to think of a strategy that will allow me to think of just one number that I know for sure goes into 108. Because 108 is an even number, I know 2 times something will go into 108. So 2 times something must equal 108. So let's figure out what the 2's partner would have to be. So we're just going to come over here and do a little division problem. 2 goes into 10 5 times. And then 2 goes into 8 4 times, and that goes in there evenly. So 2 times 54 must equal 108. 2 times 54 equals 108. So now we've got the first step of our prime tree. We've also already broken the numbers down small enough, so now 54 is going to be on my mental multiplication chart. 2 is a prime number. The only way to break 2 down to factors is with a 1 and a 2. So that tells us that that's as far as that one will go. I'm going to circle it because it's a prime. And then I'm going to come over to 54 and I'm going to say, well, from my mental multiplication chart, I know that 6 times 9 is 54. And I'm going to now check these numbers, the 6 and the 9. Well, the question we want to ask is, are they prime or are they composite? A composite number will keep breaking down. Well, 6 will break down again. 6 is composite. We know that 6 is 3 times 2. So we can go ahead and write down 3 times 2. Now 2 we've already seen is prime. And if we think about 3, well, 3 times 1 is 3, and that's the only way that 3 would break down. So 3 is also going to be prime. It doesn't have any factors other than 1 and itself. When we come over and take a look at the 9 now, we know that 9 is 3 times 3. And we've already seen that 3 is prime, so we can circle that up. And now each of my branches on my prime tree at the end have a prime number, so now I'm ready to write my final answer. 108 equals. Remember that the problem asked us to write 108 as a product, a multiplication problem of prime. So I only want prime numbers in my final answer. That's why we circled the primes as we came to them, so we'd have an easier job tracking them down at this point. We're going to organize the primes from smallest to largest. So my smallest primes are 2, and I've got 2 of them. So I'm going to cross those off as I write them down, 2 times 2. And then I can see I've got 1, 2, 3 3s. So I'm going to cross those off. 3 times 3 times 3. And so that would be one way of writing our final answer. And we could double check our work by multiplying all of this out. And we would see that 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. And 4 times 27, if we multiply that out, does in fact equal 108. So we know we've got the right combination. The other way we could write our final answer is to use exponents. We could say that instead of writing 2 times 2, if we have 2 factors of 2, we can write that as 2 to the second power, or 2 squared, times, here we have 3 factors of 3, so we could write that as 3 to the third power. So either one of these would be possibilities for our correct answer.